beef with an FBI agent when they tried to serve him with a subpoena to come testify before the commission, January 6th commission. He didn't want to testify. He got into a little beef. He says, and he kind of confessed. He calls up the cops. He admit, I was looking for a gun. I didn't know who these guys are. I was going to my kitchen to get a weapon. Good luck, my friend. Okay, not many people, go threatening FBI agents and walk out of court, my friend. So he's still sitting in jail because he turned himself in without a lawyer, does not bail, and he's got these other charges. Trevion Cutie and Harrison Floyd and another fellow who is described as a former police officer, pastor. I think this one's the former police officer. I'm not 100% sure. But they went down and they went to the home of this woman named Ruby Freeman, who was an election worker, and on police body cam threatened her that she's going to lose her freedom okay, unless they cooperate with her. So basically, they're going to kidnap this woman or have her arrested or something, some kind of threat to this woman, unless she cooperates with them. So they're on video cam. Plus, this guy here has no lawyer, has no bail, and has got other charges. I predict that at least one of these three flips within 30 days. They're going to make a deal within 30 days, okay? This is an open and shut case on these three because there's police dash cam video footage of them threatening this poll worker. All the lawyering in the world is not going to help you get out of that. Okay, you can hire Joe Tacopina. Oh no, that's right. Yeah, and you're not going to get through that one. Okay, so these guys are going down. They know they're going down. They're facing jail time, and who's helping them? Who's backing them up? Who drove them to court? This guy, Harrison Floyd, drove himself to court to turn himself into the jail. Okay, parking out in the street. Okay. Then you got some guys. Now, you got some guys here. Mark Meadows, Rudy Giuliani, John Eastman. Jeffrey Clark, by the way, is the one that Trump was going to appoint to Barr's position when Barr resigned. And there was like the whole Justice Department threatened to resign because he had gotten in there, he would have been Mr. Coup. He would have gone along with many, many elements of the coup if he would have been gotten in there. So anyway, these guys here, they're pretty much just being charged with false statements and, making these arguments and coming up with these theories. And that can be thrown away as bad lawyering, Well, Jenna Ellis is another one of these, and even Sidney Powell. Although Sidney Powell does get into some stuff here where they actually stole some voting machine equipment, okay? So all these people telling you that this is all about questioning the election. You're not allowed to question an election? Well, first of all, we have three people down here that tried to threaten kidnapping of a poll worker. That's not questioning an election. That's some street thuggery, okay? By some Mr. Pastor here, okay? Pastor of a Lutheran church did some street thuggery for Mr. Trump, okay? And I think he's the one who said that Trump's a hero, and he never met Mr. Trump, but Trump's a hero doing a great job still, okay? Not so much some others, okay? Then you got this bunch of these lawyers who, for the most part, are just lawyering, doing bad lawyering, Jenna Ellis. But you know what? Now they got mugshots. They're probably all going to lose their law licenses. They're probably going to maybe make some guilty pleas and all this, and maybe do like 6 months, okay? Sidney Powell's another story. Because she was involved in this thing they called the Coffee County, Georgia, where they actually got into a voting machine. Okay? Now that bunch down here, let's find that bunch. Oh, that's a fake elected bunch. Voting system breachers. Scott Hall was a bail bondsman. Well, I was just praising just recently the bail bondsman community. I wouldn't call Scott Hall for help. Okay? But Scott Hall is a bail bondsman. He's already testified in front of the January 6th commission. He testified before the grand jury. And he acknowledged that he gained access to a voting machine. Okay? So this guy's pled guilty already. Okay, what's he going to go in? He's going to turn around now with the best lawyer in the world and say, "Oh, my client had temporary insanity." Is that the plan? Good luck, Mr. Bail Bondsman Scott Hall. Plus, he knows the court system, and he knows the way to get out of this is to make a deal. He's not stupid. Okay, so he's going to make a deal for sure. Okay, then you got Coffee County election supervisor, who was also at this Coffee County, Georgia, and accessing this voting machine illegally, man, unlawfully. This one hasn't confessed yet, but Misty Hampton, she's on her way. And then Kathy Latham, who not only was involved with this machine, but she's also one of the fake electors. She's got double jeopardy. Not double jeopardy, but she's got double the opportunity to get thrown in prison. So out of those three, we already have one that's already admitted what he's done. That's probably a guilty plea and a flip. And then Latham is facing 2 charges. Now, also, too, by the way, there's some stories that Marjorie Taylor Greene was involved in this. So that could be the next round. We might be seeing some House representatives, people here taking a hit too as well. And we'll be getting into that later on if I have some time. Because it is quite shocking to see during this Republican debate the other night, basically the Republican Party is okay with the coup attempt. They're not standing up and saying, "Hey man, whoa, that's a bridge too far. I'm not putting my name on that. I'm not going to stand up on national TV at a podium in a presidential debate in the United States of America in 2023 and say I'm okay with that." But they did, and they cheered. The audience cheered it. That even Trump gets arrested, we'll still back him. Even if the coup leader, who's under indictment, turning himself in with one of the most creepiest mugshots I've ever seen in my life. Creepier than Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay. All right, man. And we'll be getting into some of that too in a minute too. But they're okay with that. And it seems like the Democrats, the other color capitalists, are okay with a coup of indictments and arrests and grand juries, and I think they're going to go and arrest a bunch of Republican House of Representative members, at least 1 or 2 who were up there necking all this. I think maybe Alex Jones has a chance to go down. Roger Stone. I think there's another round coming. Okay, more than one round because some of these fake electors. By the way, too, when people keep telling you about they're just questioning the election, they actually had fake electors who had phony documentation that were pretending to be the actual electors for that state, and one of them has already confessed to doing that. Okay, well, which one is that? I think it's Mr. Not Ray Smith. Sean Still. Yeah. Sean Still actually put out he's one of the fake GOP electors, and he actually put out a statement saying that he admits to saying that I'm a fake elector. that paperwork is fake, and I did it at the directions of Donald J. Trump, who was the president of the United States. So I'm not guilty; he's guilty. Okay, so we already have an admission from him. That's the guy he's going to flip to as well. So you have here one of the worst RICO cases I've ever seen, even worse than the most ragtag, coke dealers, and junkies, street junkies, who put together a better coordinated defense than this. We don't even know if the attorneys in all this case have a cooperation agreement between the defendants. So it hasn't even been discussed. This is crazy. And they had a whole week to turn themselves in. This is just crazy. Which goes to show me that the same crew that was behind the coup is not behind this defense of these indictments and these cases. It's a different bunch in control here now. Okay. Now, what else is going on this week? Notes. I need my notes. Hey, let's see here. Look up at these notes first. I look at this list of people we've lost. And I know everybody's not on there. Just breaks my heart. There's an interesting situation where Don Jr. took over the ownership of Mar-a-Lago for $400 million this week. So whatever that is, some preparation for lawsuits, litigation preparation, asset protection, who knows what that is, or Trump's getting ready to flee the country, perhaps. Is that a possibility? It's definitely would be one of the steps you take, if you're going to leave the country, start putting your assets in order. If you think you're going to spend a long time in jail, you put your assets in order. What other reason? Is there an announcement? Hey, Don Jr. has done such a great job being my perverted son and being a cokehead. And I'm giving him Mar-a-Lago because he's got Mar-a-Lago now. The documents are out there. Now, I was telling you last week, Nader flipping, right? Flipping Nader, George flipping Nader. And I said, boy, a lot of suspicious stuff is going on here with George Nader's case. If you look him up in the Bureau of Prisons, he's no longer in there. If you look up his court case, there's some sealed filings on there. Well, word came out this week. People who know George Nader have come to me and told me that he had his sentence reduced by 5 years. Now, I Googled it. I can't find it. Okay? I can't find it. I trust the people who told me this, and it seems to be common knowledge amongst that group, who are in tune with all this stuff going on. Now, George Nader, if you don't know this, he's in prison. He got 10 years in prison. Could have got 12, but he got 10 for possession of child pornography, bestiality porn, and he had a history of being involved in child molestation and child pornography. So he's going to get 5. They're going to get 10, and they dropped 5. So what? Because he's cooperating, right? I got to know, man, what is this guy cooperating about that we're going to let a convicted child molester and a convicted child pornographer out on the street to roam the streets free? Okay? And because what I'm understanding, too, is there's going to be no supervision when he leaves. Okay? This guy's getting a real, real good deal. All right? Good deal for him. All right? And now, so now, what's this guy? I'm being told it's some Prince, Saudi Arabian stuff, man. I don't know. Eric Prince type stuff. I don't know what's going on there. Because Eric Prince is another one, too, man. Why hasn't he been indicted? He's up to his neck and all this stuff, too, as well. So let's see what's going on there. Let's see how we're doing on time. 42 minutes. I guess we can get back into the sad stuff, right? Everything covered. All my notes. George Nader, I think we have. I do have some really good, serious content I'm taping this week, and I hope you stick with me here. There's a lot of good stuff. I've done many shows about my birthday, and born-again birthdays, and big things always happen on my birthday. I spent 2 of my birthdays in jail. Big events in my life always happen around the time of my birthday, right before, right after. And that was no different. I am going to be a witness in a couple of lawsuits, a couple of Jeffrey Epstein-related lawsuits. I'm a witness. And I may be named as a defendant in another situation that I'm not concerned about. It's a lawsuit due to my reporting. I'm not concerned of any of this stuff. But it is, interesting that, again, this stuff comes up around my birthday. It could give me a lot of good press. So, that's always good, right? But I can't help, this week. I'm going to be 61 years old in a matter of days. So I can't help but look back on my life, and I was looking at a bunch of old pictures of the old Staten Island. I plan to drive up to New York and just look at all the places I grew up in and around my neighborhoods and stuff, in the Bronx and on Staten Island, Manhattan, and just see how things have changed and stuff like that. But I can't help but look back on the show here and all the people we've had on this show that we've lost. And I guess one of the first ones was Dave McGowan. Started this show 2013, and right away again, when I want to do a show like this, I want to have a guy like Dave McGowan on a show. And when I have, nobody had heard of Dave McGowan, there was very little content with him. And then shortly after he came on the show, within a few years, he had passed away. Now he's a legend, you know. Joe DeToma. A lot of people don't know who Joe DeToma is, but he wrote the book The Cult of the Black Sun.